He had dreams that his brothers would one day bow down to him. Now, you can imagine that didn't go over too well with his older siblings. Filled with jealousy, they conspired against him, initially planning to kill him, but eventually selling him into slavery to a caravan of traders heading to Egypt. They then returned to their father, Jacob, with Joseph's torn and blooded coat, leading him to believe his favorite son had been killed by a wild animal. Once in Egypt, Joseph's life took another turn. He was bought by Potiphar, a high-ranking official of the Pharaoh. Thanks to his sharp mind and integrity, Joseph quickly rose through the ranks in Potiphar's household. However, his good fortune was short-lived. Potiphar's wife made advances toward him, and when he refused, she falsely accused him. Joseph was thrown into prison, seemingly abandoned and forgotten. But even in prison, Joseph's special gift for interpreting dreams didn't leave him. He correctly interpreted the dreams of two of Pharaoh's officials who were imprisoned with him, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Just as Joseph predicted, the cupbearer was restored to his position, while the baker was executed. Joseph asked the cupbearer to remember him to Pharaoh, but once freed, the cupbearer forgot all about the young Hebrew man in the dungeon. 2 years passed. Then, Pharaoh himself was troubled by 2 strange dreams that none of his magicians or wise men could decipher. He dreamed of 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 skinny cows, and 7 healthy ears of grain being devoured by 7 thin ears. It was only then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Summoned from prison, Joseph stood before the most powerful man in the world. He told Pharaoh that the dreams were a divine warning. Egypt would experience 7 years of incredible abundance, followed by 7 years of devastating famine. He advised Pharaoh to appoint a wise administrator to store up grain during the good years to prepare for the bad. Pharaoh was so impressed by Joseph's wisdom that he appointed him as that very administrator, making him second in command over all of Egypt. Joseph was given an Egyptian name, a wife, and immense power. He skillfully managed the grain storage, and when the 7 years of plenty ended, Egypt was prepared for the famine that gripped the entire region. And this is where the story comes full circle. The famine was so severe that it reached Canaan, where Jacob and his family lived. Hearing there was grain in Egypt, Jacob sent 10 of his sons to buy food. The one son he kept behind was Benjamin, his youngest, the only other son of his beloved wife Rachel. When the brothers arrived in Egypt, they came before the powerful governor to request grain, and they bowed down before him. They had no idea they were bowing to the very brother they had sold into slavery years ago. Joseph recognized them immediately, but kept his identity a secret. He tested them, accusing them of being spies and demanding they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, to prove their story. After a heart-wrenching return to their father and much persuasion, the brothers came back to Egypt with Benjamin. Finally, seeing their genuine remorse and their fierce protectiveness of Benjamin, Joseph could no longer contain himself. He revealed his identity, and a stunning, emotional reunion took place. He forgave his brothers, telling them that what they meant for evil, God had used for good to save many lives. Joseph then arranged for his entire family, his father Jacob, his 11 brothers, and all their households, about 70 people in total, to move to Egypt. Pharaoh welcomed them, giving them the fertile land of Goshen to live in. And so, the small family of Jacob settled and began to multiply, growing into the nation of Israel, right there in the heart of Egypt, setting the stage for the epic story of Exodus hundreds of years later. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.